Welcome to Friday Friends, RI Elder Info's weekly look at the organizations and individuals providing resources for Rhode Island seniors, caregivers, and professionals.
Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. It is the very first Friday in 2023, and I am really glad that you are joining me today. We have some amazing guests that are going to kick off our year, and I'm really excited. As you know, I'm Deb Burton, and this is Friday Friends. It is our live streaming and podcast show brought by RI Elder Info. We're a nonprofit here in the state, and we are dedicated to getting information and resources out to the public to help you remain independent for as long as possible. And if you're a caregiver, help you get connected to the services and resources that are going to help support you in your caregiving role. And if you're a professional watching this, to make sure that you have the most up-to-date information so that you can share that out with your clients. So I'm really glad you were able to join me here today. Hit the like button, hit the share button, because we want people to hear what is going on. As you look forward, we do this every Friday at 9 o'clock. Think about even having a watch party. And our guests are always welcome to take your questions, because we want this to be meaningful to you and to be able to get you the information that you need. So please hit the like, hit the share. I'm super excited for our guests lineup so far this year. It's going to be amazing. But as you know, we are a 501c3. And we would not be able to do this without the support of our sponsors and our donors. So a huge thank you to United Health and Aetna and Oak Street Health, England Studios, 321 Media. They're really what makes this possible. So super grateful to those organizations. So today, I would like to welcome Catherine Taylor and Matt Netto from AARP. Good morning.
Good morning, Deb. Happy New Year. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Hi, Matt.
Hello. Great to be here.
So we are kicking off 2023, and I really want to hear what is on the agenda for 2023 for AARP. Or maybe we should just to inform our viewers what AARP does as a whole.
Thank you.
Then what are we up to?
I wanted to start. Because AARP is really a household word, but I'm not sure everybody knows exactly who we are and what we do. And so AARP's mission is to empower people to choose how we live as we age. That is our mission. And we serve, AARP Rhode Island serves Rhode Islanders 50 plus and their families and their caregivers, not just our members, but we do have 127,000 members in Rhode Island. So we're very powerful. And we are the state office of the largest nonprofit in the nation. We have offices in 50 states, plus the District of Columbia and Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. And we are active on Capitol Hill, we are active on Federal Hill, and we are active in your community, and we're active in cyberspace. So that's who we are. And we are there to advocate for policy change to make people's lives better. Matt is our advocacy Associate State Director Sue, who will tell you about our advocacy agenda. But we also offer wonderful programming, which I'll talk about in a while, which is all free. And we are a trusted source of information on almost every topic you can think of that you need to know about as we grow older. And not just things like long-term care and healthcare, which we talk about a lot in the aging space, but things like financial security, protecting yourself from fraud, making sure your community is livable and walkable, and you have access to the social supports that you need. So that's AARP.
And that is amazing. And I think you made a really good point that a lot of times when we talk about aging, we're talking about healthcare, but our lives are not just healthcare. It's, can we get across the street in a timely manner to be able to, say, get to the theater to see the play on time? Right. Are those traffic lights timed appropriately? Because if they're not timed appropriately for everyone, then they're not timed appropriately for anyone. Things like that.
Yep. Yeah. And we talk a lot about like elderly transportation. And so that's transportation to the doctors and dialysis and cancer treatment and the senior center congregate or meal site, which are all really important. But when we talk about age-friendly transportation, I like to use the ice cream cone test. Have you heard me talk about that before?
No.
So if you are, it's a beautiful summer day in Rhode Island and you are craving an ice cream cone, if you are able to, at the spur of the moment, get yourself to a place where you can get an ice cream cone, then you have access to age-friendly or appropriate transportation. And that could be, somebody can drive you there, or you can walk across the street because it's nearby, or you can hop on a bus, or you can drive safely. But that's really the sort of level of transportation we want everybody to have to make their lives meaningful and empowered.
I love that. That is a great analogy. And yeah. And I immediately thought, oh my goodness, I think I might need an ice cream cone later today. And I'm really like,
and get one. I think it's gonna snow later.
Could have a snow cone today, I think.
Yeah.
So Matt, what are some of the policy agenda actions that AARP is working on for 2023?
Yeah, well, we work on a wide array of issues, and we're constantly taking phone calls from our members to look into new things that are popping up or bills that they're interested in. But some of the ones we've been really focusing on and preparing for, one is what we call the RI Savers Program. What we found is that there's 172,000 Rhode Island employees that don't have access to retirement savings programs through their employer. Yeah. So that's 172,000 people that don't have an easy way to save for retirement. And as we see with rising inflation and housing costs and everything rising, it's important to have a little nugget saved away for when you get older.
Yeah.
A big nugget.
A big nugget. A big nugget. Yes, because Social Security was never intended to be someone's sole source of income, and unfortunately, there's many Rhode Islanders that is the case. So we're hoping that with a program that employees can take advantage of, that they'd be able to start saving earlier, so that they're in a better position to weather bad times as they age in life. And also on the business side, businesses that maybe don't have the means to offer a retirement savings program would be able to now have this for their employees, which is always a great benefit to have for the employer as well.
Wow. And so with that program, would that have a cost to the employers, or is it just a matter of helping the employees create a retirement account?
Yes, it's it'd be a public-private board would be formed, and there'd be investments that would be offered to the employees, and the employer would literally just have to set up that the payroll deduction line, that it's taken out of the check. There is no cost to the employer at all. There's no fiduciary responsibility to the employer at all. It's literally a free benefit for them to offer to their employees.
Right. The employer could, and we're talking small businesses right now, just to be clear about that. And the employer could eventually choose to match the contributions, but they're under no obligation to do so.
Wow. So it sounds really pretty straightforward, and it's, for small business owners, it would just maybe be a matter of contacting their payroll company to get that set up.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not going to cost the business anything going forward.
No. And this bill was introduced in 2017. Senator Coleman has been a great champion for it in the Senate. And then this year, Chairman Shanley will be taking it on as the sponsor in the House. So, we're very excited about it. We've been talking to a bunch of different people in the community that are excited about it. And that's one of our top priorities, is to really highlight the possibilities that program can bring to the state, and also show the success that program has had in states like Colorado, California, Connecticut now has it. So we're excited about that one, but it's not the only thing we're working on. We're going to continue working in the housing space. Last year, we put a lot of work into passing the accessory dwelling unit bill, working with the speaker and the Low and Moderate Income Housing Act Commission. That one always gets me. But we're hearing that, there's a lot of interest in making that accessory dwelling unit bill even stronger this session. So there's a lot
Just
of
share a little bit what the ADU is and what that bill is about, because I think with housing being something that we just don't have enough of, affordable housing we just don't have enough of, I think it might be really helpful for folks to really understand what that ADU or accessory dwelling unit bill is about.
Okay, I tend to talk more technically. Catherine's great at painting the picture. So, Catherine, can you paint the picture, please?
Sure, absolutely. So say you are, well, like me. Okay, so I'm an older adult. My children are grown and out of the house, and I live in the same big family house that I raised them in. I am now overhoused. My husband and I would like to live in something smaller, but we love our neighborhood. Our church is nearby. Our neighbors are really supportive. We can walk to the things we walk to. We know how to get around to the get to the grocery store, and we like how the aisles are shaped out or set up. So we want to stay in our neighborhood, but there's nothing small to move into. But an accessory dwelling unit is a little apartment that could be on your, in your basement, in your attic, in your garage. You could build a little outbuilding on your property, and you could move into it and have a smaller house, and then rent out your bigger house to somebody else, or your kids and your grandkids could move into it, or you could stay put, but you could have a caregiver, or maybe your kid who just graduated from college and can't afford a place to live, move into your house and get have somebody support you or get a little income. And so that's really what an accessory dwelling unit is. And there are all sorts of different ways or reasons you would want one, right? So you could to downsize, to have your kids nearby, to have a caregiver there, to have some income to supplement your fixed income when you're retired, and really to age in your community where most of us really want to stay. And we've heard story after story of folks who are sort of in their big house, still mowing their lawn and taking their trash out and shoveling their snow, none of which they want to do anymore. But if they want to move to something smaller in their own community, what's the most recent story we heard, I think, in Lincoln? $500,000 for a small condo. And, that's just not possible. So
Exactly.
this is a way to just put another another tool in toolbox of housing choice for folks. I was talking at the beginning of this show about our mission being empowering people to choose how we live as we age. ADUs are a housing choice, and going back to the Secure Choice Rhode Island, Rhode Island Savers Plan, that's about having enough money to make choices as you retire too.
Yeah, and I think that's so the accessory dwelling unit is not about, say, somebody building an outbuilding on their property and making an Airbnb to bring in income. It really is for families and or caregivers, right?
Well, you could really, the law that we were able to shepherd through, or Matt was able to shepherd through so brilliantly, I should give an example of his advocacy in a minute, I hope, allows it to be rented to anybody. And that's important because you want an unrelated caregiver to be able to move in if you want, or I'm looking out my window at my across the street neighbor who is 93, and he has an apartment on his third floor that he and his late wife, when she was alive too, always rented out to a couple of college kids, and they got a little extra income. But they also got somebody who would carry their groceries in for them if they asked, or who just presences in the house should anything happen. There are a couple of falls in time. So that's an example of where an unrelated person living in your accessory dwelling unit would still be really beneficial. And it benefits the person who lives in the ADU too. I know when I was starting out life, when I had my first job, I lived in a basement apartment, but I lived right in the city near where I worked, but that was how I could afford to live there. And it's just a great option for a lot of different configurations of families and relationships.
That's awesome. And you bring up a really good point, because it is that kind of setup can really foster that sense of community where we help each other in a non-monetary, non-healthcare way, but really fosters that sense of community that at one time we had, where we really did look out for our neighbors.
Right.
So I think that's great. So Matt, what else are you working on for legislation?
So, we've also been talking with Leading Age Rhode Island about a bill that would, for nursing homes, to promote single rooms with private bathrooms in nursing homes in the state. So what that bill would do was provide nursing homes with an extra 20% in their reimbursement rate for single occupancy rooms with private bathrooms, which, I think an article yesterday in Providence Journal, Jim Nyberg from Leading Age was talking specifically about how the national recommendation is for a movement towards single occupancy rooms. So we're on board with the industry. We think it would be a great improvement to nursing homes, provide some dignity, privacy for people as they age. So that's another bill that we're really looking forward to working on with a bunch of different community partners.
And I'd love to jump in there too, because this is a really important safety and infection control measure, as well as something that's important for dignity and choice. I mean, who at the end of your life wants to live with somebody you didn't pick to live with, right? That's not good.
Right.
You only have to do that in college and in the Army, no other place. Or maybe if you have a big family like mine, you're like, sorry, kids, you're in the same room together, no choice there. But when COVID just roared through nursing homes, part of that was because you had unrelated people sharing bedrooms, sharing bathrooms. There's no way to keep people apart in long-term care facilities, and so of course we'll get to the direct care worker issue too. And you had people who couldn't afford to have only one job, going in and out of facilities and bringing the infection with them. But this is really an important thing to do to stave off the next pandemic and keep our long-term care facility residents safe. And in the meantime, have their own space, their own home, their own autonomy over their living quarters.
It's interesting because you're right, that ability to have some privacy and to protect oneself in the facility by having your own room. We really saw that made a huge difference when COVID came through. And I just saw this morning that there's a new version of COVID that is coming out now. And, they're recommending that people really talk to their doctors about getting their vaccines and making sure they're up to date. And that's great. But I often wonder, how are things going as far as the vaccinations for the residents in long-term care? Are they able to access it? Are the staff? I know at one time, all staff members, it was mandated everybody had to be fully vaccinated. I don't really know where that stands. Does AARP still track that as a whole? I know you had a great nationwide dashboard going. Is that something that you guys still track?
Yes, we do our nursing home dashboard. It comes out monthly. It is not, the data it lags about 4 weeks. So the most recent data we have is from the end of November. But, speaking to vaccinations specifically when it comes to residents, we had about 95% of nursing home residents fully vaccinated. 86% of them were vaccinated with some booster protection. And then it drops to 51% of the residents were up to date fully with the bivalent booster as well. When it comes to staff, we started off with just the first round of vaccination of vaccine is about 99%. The healthcare staff that's vaccinated with at least one booster is 68%. And then healthcare staff fully up to date, bivalent, all the boosters is about 27%. So it's the numbers have been going down as we hopefully pull further away from the worst of the pandemic.
Right. I thought though that there was that regulation in regards to mandating the vaccines for healthcare workers. Had that changed? Do you know?
That only applied to the first two.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fully vaccinated still is considered the series of two that we all mostly got last year.
Okay. And if the public wanted to see where a facility they're considering is on that spectrum of how vaccinated individuals are, is that something they can find on the AARP dashboard?
Not specific. Not specific individual locations.
Oh, okay.
But I have seen that data Let me check to see if that's still being tracked and put out there. And if it is, I can share it with you to share with on your page or
Yeah, that
with
would be awesome. We can drop it right into the chat
look at that
when we
real
get
quick.
it. And that could be something that is really more so tracked by the Department of Health. And that would totally make sense to me.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of our data gets taken, CMS, and we pull from a lot of national organizations on the data as well. If you can find the AARP dashboard online with all statistics and data, you can find that there. Just Google the AARP COVID-19 nursing home dashboard.
Awesome. What other legislation is AARP working on?
So other things is, really trying to boost up the workforce for our direct care staff. It's we had a conversation the other day about, enhanced options for training for CNAs. Last year we worked on some online portals for training for CNAs, which are now live. But we're all,
The
working
classroom
on
part, not the clinical part. I just want to.
but what we're all, working on things like increasing pay, workaround services for the employees, and also the other caregivers that we have, the people that take care of our loved ones, our own family. So we're always working on the enhancements to the temporary caregiver insurance program as well. That's one where just this year, as of January 1st, the TCI program raised to 6 weeks a year. So you can take 6 weeks. We've gone up. It was 4 weeks and then 5 last year. Now it's 6. And the push is to get it with the national recommendation, which is 12. So we will be working with a whole group of organizations on temporary caregiver insurance as well.
And for those people who might be watching who are not familiar with what the temporary caregiver insurance program is, can you just give like a little bit of information on that, where they would go, what they would need to do to apply, like what state agency runs that?
I don't know where the application lies for it, but the program itself is for, let's say someone in your family gets sick and you have to take some time out of work to care for them. What this program would do would provide you with 65% of your normal wages while you're out taking care of your loved one. I would guess it's by the Department of Labor and Training where it's housed at. I know that the push for that program is to get increased weeks, but it's also to expand the definition of what family is so that you can take that time to care for more people like siblings and grandparents and grandchildren. So we're working to make some great enhancements on that and also raise the reimbursement rate up over, out of the 60s and higher to get in line with what a lot of other states are doing now.
That's really, really important because so often caregivers are still trying to balance work and caregiving. And if I remember correctly, AARP put out some data that the unpaid caregiver, if the unpaid family caregiver, if they put a dollar amount on the care that the individual was receiving, it would have been someplace, I want to say, over $1 billion. I mean, you guys might be more familiar with that data, but our family caregivers really do the bulwark. And when they're trying to balance that with actually going to their job, the importance of the temporary caregiver insurance really can't be understated.
The family caregivers
really
is the absolute foundation of the long-term care system, and we have to make sure that they're shored up and they have what they need.
Yeah, absolutely. So what other fun things is AARP working on? I think you guys have had some like town hall meetings and other trainings going on.
Sure.
Yeah. We do our teletown halls. Most recently, we had one in December with all 4 members of our federal delegation because we don't only work on the state level legislatively. We are consistently engaging with our federal delegation on. Last year it was prescription drugs, and this year I know the AARP National is starting to work on a lot of things with bolstering up and protecting Social Security. So we have a great group of volunteers that help us do that too.
And we also have a lot of fun stuff to do to keep people engaged, to keep people moving, to keep people eating healthy, to keep people having fun and connected. So, excuse me while I read, but we have a couple of really fun, free online upcoming events. We have our monthly Everybody dance class with this incredible instructor named Rachel Balaban. And you can participate if you're a professional dancer, and you can participate if you are in a wheelchair and if you are having cognitive issues. That is going to be next Wednesday, the 11th from 1 to 2 p.m. And then on Thursday, the 19th from 4 to 5, we have our monthly Rhode Island Healthy Cooking Demo with Chef Mary out of Newport. And this is going to be polishing your knife skills, which will be pretty exciting. And then on Tuesday, January 24th from 4 to 5, we have our monthly Tai Chi Qigong workout for body and mind with Master Wu. And you can find all of those and sign up to come. Again, it's free at aarp.org/RI events and see all the other stuff that's coming on. As you said, we have webinars from time to time on livable communities issues so people can learn more about what local green and complete streets legislation is, what housing concerns you could be thinking about. What if you are thinking about an ADU? We have an ADU how-to webinar. So you can look at our past webinars at aarp.org/RI replay. And so if you miss something live, you can go back and check out the recording.
That's awesome. And I know Rachel, and she is an amazing teacher. And it's true, you don't have to be a professional dancer, but you can be. Mm-hmm. And she makes everybody feel welcome. I kind of have 2 left feet. And really excited about the cooking class for my close friends. They know that cooking is definitely not my skill set. You know, I'm the one, if I'm coming to the party, they're like, yeah, Deb, you're in charge of bringing the soda.
Maybe you shouldn't come to the knife class then. I don't know.
I might be able to sharpen them. It's just, once I start using them to maybe dice or chop.
You got to hold your fingers back so they don't get in the way.
It is not finger chopping class, right?
Right.
That is awesome. So what other fun things, if people want to participate as volunteers for AARP, or maybe offer their skills and training for one of these classes, how do they go about doing that?
Yeah, contact us at aarp.org/RI volunteers. We have a host of volunteer teams. Matt's got his advocacy team, his federal liaison team, his fraud watch team. We have a speakers bureau that gives presentations in the community. We have a livable communities team that helps folks get active in their community to bring around age-friendly change. You can help us with our communications or administrative work. And I always forget a team. Which one am I forgetting?
Tech team?
The tech team, the most important one. Yes, really, because all the really great programs I was just talking about are all strictly run by our amazing volunteers. They run the Zoom, they take attendance, they welcome you in the chat, they kind of keep in touch with the presenters, and are just a lot of fun to interact with. So we have so many roles, everything from leading a team and leading an event and giving a presentation and being a Zoom star, to being a really behind the scenes person, greeting people, handing out literature. We have a tabling team too for folks who want to go to health fairs and events and greet the public with our information at a table, in the lobby or something like that. So, and if you just want to be with us, because we're a really fun group and we have a huge impact, and you have an idea for something you want to do with us, get in touch with us. We'll find a role for you and bring you onto one of our teams.
That's exactly how our fraud watch team, came to be. We started getting a few people interested that had great experience in working in fraud and exploitation. So there you go. They formed a team and now they're working on some great stuff, and it's exciting.
What kind of things does the fraud watch team see and discuss? Because as we're coming out of the holidays, a lot of folks are going to start getting their credit card bills in, and they might see things that, I didn't actually buy that $1,000 MacBook Pro.
Yeah, so the Fraud Watch team, I said, it's a brand new team. We're just starting it, but we're having conversations. We're talking about doing short educational videos that we'll be able to share on our website and on social media to talk about specific things like that, like the credit cards, and also some of the more more prevalent scams and schemes that are out there today. One that we talk about often, and we're trying to get legislation introduced to help address it, is the gift card scamming. Gift card scamming is a big problem right now, as well as things like automatic renewals. And the way that people just keep automatic, just without it just there's stuff like that that I think needs to be addressed and can be addressed here, and that's what the Fraud Watch team is looking to do. So they'll do some legislative stuff, but they're going to try to do a lot of creative stuff with educating and outreach as well.
We have so many resources that the National Fraud Watch that they can get into the community. And also we have a terrific partnership with Attorney General Nerona and his amazing team there. And we've done teletown halls and conferences and webinars with them, and our Fraud Watch team will help to really strengthen that partnership and that back and forth.
Well, I'm going to say it right now. On January 6th, I want your Fraud Watch team to come on one of the Friday Friends in June, because we dedicate all of our Friday Friends in June to raising awareness of elder abuse in recognition of World Elder Abuse Day. So there's your invitation. I want your team.
Thank you.
On behalf of them, I definitely accept, because they're already talking about, they're eager, they want to get out there. They have such great expertise and experience in this industry. So it's I can't wait to see what they do when they get fully up and operational.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So if people needed to reach out to you, if they wanted to join AARP, where do they go? How do they do that? What's the phone number or the email?
That's a good question. Well, probably just get in touch with us directly.
Okay.
I think probably the easiest thing. So you can reach me at ctaylor@aarp.org or matt@mneto@aarp.org, and we will point you in the right direction.
That's awesome. And if people wanted to donate, is there a donate button on the webpage, or do they mail in a check to the office? What
So
works
that
best?
is a lovely, lovely question. But we actually don't raise funds. So if anybody wants to contribute to the AARP Foundation, which does a lot of great charitable work addressing elder hunger and a lot of other issues, you could Google that and donate there. But no, just join us as a member. But we do not need to take your funds. You can donate it to other worthy 501c3s.
That is awesome. I might know a 501c3 you could donate to. Just saying. So it's just when you get those letters in the mail to join AARP, just send it back in and join AARP.
We'd love to have you as a member, and there's just so much exciting, programming and information and advocacy and discounts.
Yes,
you can enjoy.
Yes. Even if you have a question, I get calls all the time with people with questions about, do you think I could be getting exploited or scammed? And, we with our partnership with the AG's office, we can help point people in the right direction. I get people that have all types of questions on legislation and stuff like that. And, from the advocacy side, that's really what I feel my role is to help people get engaged and help people participate and make it as easy for them as possible. So we do have a Monday morning 10 a.m. call, and all of our volunteers will join on and talk about what's happening legislatively that weekend. And we work with people one-on-one to make being involved easy for them.
Right. There's a great question in the chat. Can people of any age join? And the answer is a big, giant yes. We serve people 50 plus and their families and their caregivers. And, and as you heard, we're working on this legislation now to help people save for their retirement. Those are not retired people. Those are people we want to help prepare for a really happy and healthy retirement. So yes, people of any age can join. And I think there was a TikTok video that went viral not long ago about a teenager who joined for all the discounts. So please, join. And we have a couple of really great publications. The AARP magazine is the largest circulation magazine in America, and it's fantastic. And our bulletin that comes out, I think every couple of months with the happenings at AARP is also a really terrific resource. So y'all come join us now.
Yes. And another fun thing that AARP offers is the literature that you provide is available in multiple languages to make sure that, we're all working hard to reach everybody. So I love that about AARP. It could be English, Spanish, Vietnamese, Chinese. I don't want to miss one, but there's so many. And I think that is so valuable to be able to have that as a resource. So
have us back in November. We can talk to you about all of our veterans resources.
Okay, I will do that. Absolutely. And 100%, because we want to make sure that our vets get connected to everything that they're entitled to.
Great. And we have a lot.
Yes. Guys, I'm so glad you're able to come on. I love having you on at the first of the year because it just feels very invigorating to see where the goals are and to move forward together, because I love what you're doing. So thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, Deb. We love starting the year with you too. And thanks to everybody who's listening.
Yes.
Definitely. Thank you. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
This was a very exciting first Friday Friends of the year. AARP is really doing some amazing things. I really do encourage you, reach out to Catherine, reach out to Matt. There are so many positive events and activities that they are working really hard to make sure, like Catherine said, to be able to acquire these birthdays in the way that you want to, live how you want to. And that's why RI Elder Info loves AARP. It's, we have the same philosophies. Stay independent for as long as possible. Get the information you need, get the resources you need so that you can live your full life. So really excited by this, very invigorated. 2023 is going to be a wonderful year. And I hope to see all of you and your friends next week when I speak to Annie Murphy from the Rhode Island Alzheimer's Association. But in the meantime, be well and be kind.
If you like this video, please follow us on social media and subscribe on YouTube. For more information, visit rielderinfo.com or call 401-585-0509. If you have any questions, email deb@rielderinfo.com.